You ever feel like your life is just this frantic rush? Like you're constantly trying to get things done, but there's just no time left for you? Well, believe it or not, over 100 years ago, a writer named Arnold Bennett tackled this exact problem in his amazing little book, How to Live on 24 Hours a Day. And in this explainer, we're going to break down his advice because honestly, it's more relevant now than ever.
I mean, it's the one thing we all say, right? I just wish there were more hours in the day. We feel time poor, like we're always running on empty. But Bennett kicks things off with a pretty radical idea.
And there it is. That's the core truth that flips the whole problem on its head. The issue isn't a lack of time. It's how we manage it. You, me, everyone, we all get the exact same 24 hours. So the real question isn't how to get more, but how to use the time we've already been given.
So here's how we're going to break it down. First, we'll look at Bennett's big idea, what he calls the daily miracle. Then we'll get into his concept of creating a day within a day. After that, we'll get super practical about how to find those first few hours, what to actually do with them, and finally, we'll cover the common traps you'll want to avoid.
All right, let's dive in. Section 1, the 24-hour miracle. What Bennett wants us to do here is completely change how we think about time. Stop seeing it as this thing that's always slipping away, and start seeing it as a guaranteed income that we receive every single day.
So Bennett makes this really powerful comparison. Think about how we treat our money. We budget it, we track it. We'd be furious if someone stole $5 from us. But time? We let hours just vanish. We let a late train or some mindless scrolling rob us of something that is way, way more valuable than money.
And this is why he calls our daily time allotment a miracle. I mean, think about it. Every single morning you wake up and boom, your account is refilled with 24 brand new hours. It's the literal raw material of your life given to you fresh and untouched every day without fail. And check out the unique properties of this stuff. Unlike money, no one can actually steal it from you. It's perfectly democratic. The richest person in the world and you get the exact same amount. No matter how badly you messed up yesterday, the supply is never cut off today. And you can't get into time debt. You can only waste the moment you're in right now. It's pretty incredible when you look at it that way.
So if we have this amazing, guaranteed supply of time, where does it all go? Well, this question leads us right into Bennett's second big idea, creating what he calls a day within a day. And it all starts by redefining what the day actually means.
Okay, so a typical day, it kind of breaks down like this, right? About 8 hours for your job, another 8 for sleep, and just basic stuff like eating, and that leaves this massive 8-hour chunk of margin time. Now, Bennett says our biggest mistake is thinking that the 8 hours at work is the day, and that everything else is just the warm-up and the cool-down. That kind of thinking is exactly why that margin time just gets thrown away.
So here's the crucial mind shift he wants you to make. Your real day is the 16 hours that exist outside of your job. That's your time. That's when you're truly free to cultivate your mind, your body, your soul. It's not the leftovers of your workday, it is the main event of your life.
Okay, that all sounds great in theory, right? But how do you actually start doing this? Bennett is super clear here. You do not start by trying to overhaul your entire life in one go. You begin with a humble, practical, and almost laughably small program.
Here it is, his simple 3-step game plan. First, stop zoning out on your commute. Use that time for some focused thinking. We'll get to what that means in a bit. Second, just 3 evenings a week, block out 90 minutes. That's it, an hour and a half. And third, and this is key, you have to treat this time as absolutely sacred. It's not an if I feel like it kind of thing. It's a real appointment with yourself.
So you add that all up, and what do you get? Just 7.5 hours a week. That's it. Bennett's whole point is that a focused, consistent 7.5 hours dedicated to really living, instead of just existing, will completely energize your entire week. It's such a small investment, but the return is massive. But Bennett knew the biggest hurdle isn't the clock. It's other people. As he hilariously puts it, society thinks it's totally normal to say, "Oh, sorry, can't make it, I have a tennis lesson." But if you say, "Sorry, can't make it, I'm setting aside time to work on my immortal soul," people look at you like you're nuts. That's the social pressure you have to be ready for.
All right, so you've carved out your 7.5 hours, you've defended it from the outside world. Now what? What are you supposed to do with it? Well, Bennett offers a kind of curriculum for living, but it's probably not what you think. He lays out a few different paths you could take. Think of it like a menu, not a prescription. You could work on controlling your own mind, you could develop a habit of reflection, you could dive into the arts, or maybe study cause and effect in the world. Or you could get into some serious reading.
The point is to pick something that genuinely sparks your interest. He suggests starting with your morning commute. Use that time just to practice concentrating. Pick a single topic, literally anything, and just try to keep your mind focused on it. Your brain's going to wander a million times. That's fine. Just gently bring it back. He says this is the most fundamental exercise there is, because if you can't control what's going on in your head, you can't really control anything else.
Then, for the ride home, he suggests a different kind of exercise, reflection. You know, that ancient wisdom, man, know thyself? This is your time to take an honest look at your day, to see where the gap is between the person you want to be and the person you actually were today. It's about checking in with yourself. And if you pick reading for your evening sessions, Bennett is really specific. Don't just pick up an easy novel, even a good one. Why? Because it doesn't create any mental strain. The whole point is to engage with challenging stuff, poetry, deep history, philosophy, things that force your brain to work. And here's the secret sauce. Spend half your time reading and the other half just thinking about what you just read. And finally, Bennett gives us this really important warning label. He knew that starting this journey is one thing, but sticking with it is another. There are real dangers on this path, and if you know what they are, you can avoid them.
So here are his 4 big warnings. Number 1, don't become an annoying prig who looks down on other people for how they spend their time. 2, don't become a slave to your schedule. Remember, it's there to serve you, not the other way around. 3, don't let this new practice become just another source of stress and rushing. And maybe most importantly, do not try to do too much at the start.
And this idea right here, this might be the most important piece of advice in the whole book. Don't try to revolutionize your life overnight. A huge, ambitious plan that you quit after a week, what he calls a glorious failure, is totally worthless. But a small, even petty success, like actually reading for 90 minutes 3 times this week, builds the momentum and the self-respect that can lead to successes that are anything but petty.
So it all boils down to this one simple, powerful idea. You already have all the time there is. It's a fresh supply delivered to you every single morning. It's the raw material of your life. And the only question that really matters, the one Bennett leaves us with, is what are you going to do with it, starting with the very next hour?